if you just knock him out? Whack him over the head. Okay, already so much worse. That's creepy. Okay, this is a nightmare. This is a full-on nightmare. This is horrifying. I love this. This is such a cool way to see a dream. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to the Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 3, Episode 9. Now, this whole season has been doing so much with Katara. First, we had a whole stuff with her dad, then the Painted Lady, then the whole dealing with Toph and her role as like the mother of the group. Now, it just, like the last episode, gave her blood bending, and it did so much with just water bending in general. This season has been phenomenal for her, and I want to see her bending in action now. I want to see what she's gained from that. I think it was just super interesting that she was so petrified and so honestly traumatized of gaining that new power, and half of me wants to see it, half of me doesn't. But I think I want to see the other abilities more now, because I want to see her like be able to grow like that. Yeah, Katara's definitely the one that's developed the most out of this season so far, and I think the person who's least developed is honestly Aang, which is quite surprising. We've had a lot on Sokka, we've had stuff on Toph, even the villains got stuff on the beach episode. Aang feels like he hasn't been touched on since the start of the season. So I kind of hope we'll get something on him before like everything starts kicking off. So I just want something to do with Aang now. I need him to get something to put him at the same level where every other character is at the minute. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like, subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in.
The official rendezvous point for the invasion force. Before we split up, my dad and I found this island on a map.
Okay, so things are definitely picking up then if they actually reached the invasion rendezvous point, so things are getting... So that means their travelling is done. They're here.
The invasion's in 4 days?
That's like 4 days from now.
Yeah, just relax. Calm down a bit before then.
We're here, we're ready. The best thing we can do now is get plenty of rest.
His hair has grown so much. Is it longer than normal now? Oh dear, that's definitely an anime reference. I haven't watched a lot of anime. I know the character, but I don't know, like, I know it's referencing something. Yeah, you're obviously dreaming, okay.
How do you plan on doing that when you're not even wearing pants?
Oh no!
Okay, fun dream. Nightmare. I wouldn't even call this a nightmare, this is just a really weird dream. That's how Aang views the Fire Lord. Because yeah, he hasn't seen the Fire Lord yet, and that's just what he's seeing. A big, loud, scary dude.
It was just a dream, Momo. I still have my pants.
That was the takeaway.
Well, I better keep training.
In the middle of the night? Oh, great. Kicking a bush. Ooh, Zuko stuff.
May I wash your feet, sir? Head massage?
Okay, so everyone's doting on him. And that he takes. Okay, so I'll take some things, but yeah, this is what he's wanted, the prince life. But I'm guessing he's grown unaccustomed to it, considering his 3 years on a boat. And adoring citizens. Interesting.
I'm just going to May's house. It's not far.
It's not a prince's place to walk anywhere, sir.
That's weird. So we've got crowds of people that love him. That feels odd, considering how much do they know about the... Is it, what? Really, to there? Okay, this feels a bit much. This feels over the top in princely duties or privileges. Were you up all night doing this? Oh dear, it's like he's playing Minecraft. Stop punching trees.
I got a lot more skills to refine if I'm gonna fight Ozai.
You know, there is such a thing as overtraining.
Yep, you need rest, or else you could fall asleep while you're fighting. Top not looking the right way.
Form is bad, I'm sloppy, and I still don't know any firebending.
True.
Not even the basics.
I thought you said, okay, so that means at least you're open to it now, so that means he's moved past, they're not doing it.
Fuck all firebending anyway. You don't need to know any.
It's a good point that you can't even use it anyway.
I better spend the whole day training.
That's dumb. And he's gone. Great. No one's gonna help. This isn't good. He's like this nuts about everything. Oh dear, he looks tired. Go to sleep now.
Good night, Sokka. Good night, Toph. Good night, Appa.
Everyone. Momo.
Good night, Momo.
Yeah, Momo.
Good night, Appa and Momo. Go to sleep!
He just doesn't want to go to sleep then. Is he afraid he'll get another nightmare? Really? Missed? Oh, a bit much. that another anime
Your days of
reference?
tyranny are over, Fire Lord.
Who's that meant to be?
And this time I brought pants.
With chains, cool.
Are you prepared for your mathematics test?
Math test?
Okay.
Oh no! I forgot all about the math test.
Okay, this is just getting more ridiculous, okay? I mean, being dressed appropriately for a fight, that seems logical, but the maths test? Okay, now he's just filling his head with, like, impossible possibilities.
Aang, it's the middle of the night.
Why is he doing that to sheep?
But I forgot my pants in my math test.
Help him, please.
Aang, sleep,
Oh, his eyes.
please. For me.
And think logically. You don't need a maths test for this.
A big fancy fruit tart.
You know, being a prince and all, I might just be able to make that happen.
He looks happier. No longer, like, angry about thinking about the difference between right and wrong. This is after he's had the story about his great-grandfather and a sort of connection to the Avatar.
Like that all-day war meeting coming up.
War meeting? What are you talking about?
You, we don't know.
You mentioned something. I assumed you were going too.
So Zula's going? Oh. So this episode showing all the perks he gets as being prince, but then is it just a distraction to keep him away from the war meeting?
Wake up, sleepyhead.
Oh, actually him.
You overslept. You missed the invasion.
Okay, no, that's weirder, but okay. But so it's changed from a weird figment of his imagination to actually what Ozai looks like. That's interesting.
You know what day it is?
What? Who's talking? Ow!
Oh. That's a good fear as well, so that's better than the maths test.
One of my dreams, you were running from Fire Nation soldiers,
One of
trying to
them?
climb this cliff, but you were too slow and they got you.
Oh dear, you've had more dreams.
I'm a great climber.
Then climb that cliff. Climb it fast.
Is he actually gonna do it?
Stupid avatar, stupid cliff, stupid dream.
Really?
I can climb fast.
Don't go along with this thing.
Don't drink that.
What?
And you had to stop to use the bathroom. We died because of your tiny bladder.
Oh dear.
I know you're just trying to help, but you really need to get a grip.
Yes, please.
You're right.
Go back to sleep.
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. And he's just losing his footing. Okay, please, can he go back to sleep? This is concerning. Like, this is like 2 days before all the big stuff.
I just end up more stressed. I'm like a big growing snowball of nerves.
Can one of you just knock him out? Whack him over the head.
The baddest man on the planet. And you better win or we're all done for.
That's not helpful.
What? It's true. That's the deal. He knows it.
Oh, you mess. Go back to sleep.
Reach for the sun.
Yoga,
Feel
cool.
your chi paths clearing.
Chi stuff? How would she know about it all?
How are you feeling?
Really warm.
Good.
He's gonna relate that to fire and then the Fire Lord. Yeah.
Like I'm in the Fire Lord's palace and he's shooting a bunch of fireballs.
Yeah, did not help.
Maybe your stress is the kind you need to talk out.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe do it somewhere cold.
Why don't you get right down to business and tell me what's been bothering you?
Why does he keep the beard?
I have to fight the Fire Lord in a few days.
Is the fear of failure that's getting him down? It's not, obviously not as simple as just him. Is it as simple as him just being afraid of the Fire Lord? I guess the pressure, he's a kid, is the world thing on his shoulders. It would be a lot for a kid to deal with. Did nothing. Okay, so I'm assuming it's the whole pressure. How can he get unstressed and get the pressure off him? He needs to let it out somehow.
If you come for a royal hair combing, I'm afraid you'll have to wait.
All that for hair combing, really?
Weren't invited because it's so obvious that you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm the princess.
Oh, okay, no, so it's off here.
Just go to the meeting.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Heir to the throne, it should be, I mean, Ozai obviously wouldn't be invited. He just shows up because he's the head of it. Zuko being heir to the throne, it makes sense that he would be expected there anyway. But to not be informed that one's happening seems odd. That seems like that you're just shoving rocks in the back of his head.
It's bruising me.
Yeah. The only one that's helping is Toph. She's probably just enjoying that a lot.
Acupuncture.
Ah! Honestly, if anyone, I would trust Toph to do that the most. She could probably be able to sense where to put it.
I mean, why would you even want to go? Just think about how things went at the last war meeting you went to.
Ooh, good point. Oh no, this could be development for him, but in a bad way. It could be him going back to where he got kicked out, going along with it, and getting closer into the whole villainous role instead of getting out of it. I'm coming around on this relationship. They seem very almost nice together. They seem happy here. A lot better than the whole campfire thing.
Ready for a good night's sleep?
Kinda think I sorta might slightly feel a little better.
Great, so what nightmare are you gonna have now? Okay, already, so much worse. Not even on the Fire Lord this time, Momo? That's the threat? What is happening? I feel like I'm blinking and I'm missing things. Top. That's creepy. Okay, this is a nightmare. This is a full-on nightmare. This is horrifying. Engulfed in flames. You have no hair again. Flaming Fire Lord. Back into the ocean. Yeah. Okay, this is a nightmare. This is what it means. Yeah, this is a really cool way to look at it. Zuko above the ice. Comet. I love this. This is such a cool way to see a dream. This is amazing. They've got so from the silly goofy jeans to this. This is amazing. Oh, Appa!
Looks like it's time for another therapy session.
Absolutely not. Do something else.
There's only one thing I can do. I'm gonna stay awake straight through to the invasion.
That's idiotic. No. Can one of you just knock him out? Whack him on the back of the head.
All aboard for the invasion.
Come on, please.
You sure you can't just lie down for a little nap?
I told you, I can't go back to sleep.
He needs to face the dreams. Is that how he does it? He needs to, because he keeps waking himself up. He's not dealing with what's going on in the dream.
I'm doing it to save the world, but more than that, I'm doing it for the people I love.
Okay, it's full on Aang development episode. This is amazing.
What are you saying?
I'm saying, I love you.
This is a dream. He's asleep. No way. Totally a dream. This funny episode? That much? No, dream.
What are we doing?
What our hearts have been telling us to do for a long, long time.
Writing note, dream. He's asleep.
You're my forever girl.
Absolutely dreaming.
I guess I kind of drifted off into a daydream.
What was your dream about?
At least it was better than the nightmares.
Everyone's waiting for you.
What?
High admirals, high generals, the war ministers, and the princess have all arrived. You're the only person missing.
Ah,
My dad wants me at the meeting?
we were waiting for you.
Fire Lord said he would not start until you arrive, sir.
Don't play happy music. I don't like that. That's a good thing. I want him out of there.
Put him up, Fire Lord!
Oh, dear. And you're missing.
Hey, I'm trying to build Appa some armor here so he doesn't have to go into the invasion naked.
Upper armor? Oh, cool.
Ozai's defense is impeccable. I'll have to try a different approach.
You missed. You're too tired. Complete missed. Is he trying to hit it on the center? He's trying to hit it. Come on, Aang.
Boy, you are really starting to lose it, kid.
Momo, did you hear something?
Aang.
You, my friend, are just a few plums short of a fruit pie.
Aang, go to sleep. Okay, it is just gibberish. Cool. Go to sleep.
Let me explain.
I'm gonna get worse. Great. I'm actually having a conversation. What more evidence do you need that you need to knock him out?
You've been awake too long.
And you're acting downright weird.
Yep.
You've got to take care of yourself. You can't go on like this.
Oh, that's the perfect voice for Appa.
I appreciate what you guys are saying.
Look at him standing like that.
I am sick of this guy always mouthing off and telling me what to do.
What is
Oh,
happening?
you don't like it?
What?
Well, let's go right now!
I'm trying to think. Is he daydreaming or like where's the others in this? What the? Okay, so he's not even dreaming. He's full on hallucinating now. 3 swords? That looks awesome. So yeah, this is insanely cool. This is not good for Aang's. Oh, and the sheep have gone weird. 4 swords, nice! And just a tornado. I'm into this.
Come on, guys, we're all on the same side.
Go to sleep.
Chakras, chakras, everybody loves chakra sandwich tastes good. Yum.
Oh dear, he's back and so weird. And the stones are moving. Go to sleep, please. Okay, I love how they've just how they're animating this sort of stuff. Dreams started goofy, then that's awesome nightmare. Now this is awesome, like having a hallucination where he's clearly awake when this is happening and he's just seeing this without being asleep.
So, how did it go?
Oh, we're not gonna see it? We've already done it?
My father had saved me a seat. I was literally at his right hand.
Zuko, that's wonderful.
I mean, yes, it's nice, but I don't like it because it's evil.
During the meeting, I was the perfect prince, the son my father wanted.
And you weren't happy with that?
but I wasn't me.
There we go. Okay. Interesting. So he had to go through with it and he didn't get closer, he just realised about himself. You and Zuko are having such two different stories right now.
It's real. We spent hours working on it.
Aww.
Look, you guys keep telling me I need to sleep, but I can't.
Knock him out.
There's still so much I haven't learned. I don't need sleep. What I need is practice.
Whack him over the head.
I'm not going to hit you.
Why not?
I've seen your progress. You're smart, brave, and strong enough.
You really think so?
Okay, you didn't believe in himself, so you gotta show that you believe in him. Okay.
You're the man, Twinkle Toes. Thanks, guys.
Go to sleep.
You know what? I think I am ready.
The bed looks amazing. It looks so comfy. Back here, this is the better dream. This isn't, at least this isn't the nasty nightmare.
You're over, Fire Lord.
Really? You're gonna take me out?
What anime is this?
No, Fire Lord Ozai. You're not wearing pants.
Taking control.
No! My royal parts are showing!
I love that it's like Mark Hamill's voice, and it's just so silly and goofy. It sounds so menacing, it's just that line. And it was a good dream, you took control. And it's over. Okay, that was very interesting, quite a funny episode. Okay, that episode was really interesting and just a lot of fun in general. Aang's story was all about trying to make himself believe in himself. He had his friends who, they always believe in him. It was just his self-doubt and all of that haunting him in his dreams until he took control. With knowing that his friends believe in him, which helped him believe in himself. Zuko's, on the other hand, I feel like is almost a bit more interesting to me, just because he always gets the more serious storyline. He never gets the sort of goofy, weird Aang stuff that Aang does get. So Zuko, it showed off like what's going on with Princey life, that he's getting all this stuff, that it's over the top, and it's very glamorous, prince-like royalty. He was living in luxury, that's it, but he still isn't feeling like himself by the end of it. The whole war meeting, that put him on edge. He was so desperate to try and be involved with it. May sort of, I guess, talked him out of going. It's like, oh, if they don't want you there, just don't go. But I think it's very interesting to think about because he went in the end and he acted like the perfect prince and everyone was happy with him. But that wasn't who he is. So now he's discovered who he is and that is more important to him than trying to be who his father wants him to be. That is my takeaway from this episode. It's so interesting. He has discovered who he is and it conflicts with his father's idea for him. And it felt like he's a lot more confident in it. Yeah, I guess looking closely at Aang, that I think, technically, I love how they displayed all these different dreams and stuff going on. The goofy dreams, awesome. The nightmare-fueled hellscape thing, that was absolutely insane how they depicted that. Then the hallucinations, all of them felt so different and felt so, one's just a light dream, one's a full-on nightmare, and the other's hallucination. They all felt so separate and just well done in how they were displayed in animation. But yeah, this is what I was hoping for. Aang got some development in the, I guess, this must be before the eclipse then, so that, I'm not going to think about episode-wise, that's just confusing me. So you have, I guess, the eclipse next, and Aang had his development just before that. So now right now he didn't believe in himself. He was afraid, which he never has really dealt with. He's always just, the Fire Lord has always been so distant, and now he's actually going to go face to face with him. This is like the perfect time to, I guess, express some fear and doubt in himself, because he is 12. He hasn't mastered fire bending. He's not the full avatar that he should be. So this is the perfect time to express fear and doubt in himself. And I love how they dealt with it. It felt fun and cheery, like a child's self-doubt would be, yet it still had the pressure of you need to save the world. Everything you do now has catastrophic results. I guess this episode also went to show how important Aang's friends are to him. He would not be able to do this without them. It's interesting, like, the Avatar, it feels like it's all of them. Aang, I don't think, could do and save the world by himself. He needs his friends to be with him. It feels like they are the Avatar collectively. Aang doesn't feel like the Avatar by himself, at least at the minute. He's 12. Maybe if he grows up, then he can, I guess, be more separate and do things independently. But right now, it feels like all of them together are what makes the Avatar. Because Aang definitely could not have done this by himself. Okay, so taking a closer look at this is definitely the episode I wanted for Aang. It gave him so much development in just this thing that I didn't really know he was dealing with. And it makes so much sense that a 12-year-old, of course, is going to have a tremendous pressure put on them that in the next coming days, they're going to be shaping the future of the world. And I really love how it like showed it off in the mind of a 12-year-old. The not showing up with pants on to having a pop math test. All this stuff is like, it's something that a 12-year-old would feel like I would have a nightmare about. That's the sort of pressure that a 12-year-old would experience and sort of worry about. But I think it also sets up something interesting in that Aang doesn't really have a lot of self-belief because it took the gang believing in him for him to fight in his own dream. He doesn't have the sort of independency from them to be able to do what he needs to do. I think just for now, that's a cool thing, and that it basically makes the whole gang the Avatar, not just Aang, and that he needs them to fulfill his duties. But I feel like when he's an adult, maybe that's something he has to deal with, in the sense that he needs to separate from the gang and be able to believe in himself to do what he needs to do. Because right now, he doesn't feel capable of doing it by himself. He needs the others and their belief in him to believe in himself. Zuko's side of this was much more serious, which it always is for him, and I think I just like what it demonstrated. He was given everything. This is all he's ever wanted, and we got to see like the life of a prince. So from working on a boat to now this, where he's carried across the street by 4 guys on the weird prince carriage thing, and it just shows how unnecessary it all is, and that he's basically being doted on hand and foot, and now it's not him. He got to talk to May, and I think when he was with May, his hair was down, and it wasn't in the royal sort of tie-up thing. I feel like that sort of represents Prince Zuko and Zuko. Because even as he said, his whole thing was about not being invited to the war meeting. That he was in his own head thinking his father didn't love him, he didn't want him there, all of this stuff. Azula got the invitation, and it turns out he was just expected to be there anyway. They didn't think that he needed an invitation. He should just be there. He is the heir to the throne. Ozai obviously does not get an invitation. He organises it. Zuko should be there. It's interesting that Ozai just waited for him and wouldn't let it start without him. But it's so much more interesting that Zuko, after it, felt like he wasn't himself. It means that he's determined who he is. He's figured that out finally. And now he's determined that what he was in the war room meeting isn't something he wants to be. It wasn't him. And my big concern was, if he goes to this meeting, it would basically build off of the last war room meeting, which ended dreadfully and sent him on this journey. If it went well, he could be happy about it, and it would push him back into villainy. Now that he's gone through it, it went better, but he's realised he doesn't like he isn't him, and I'm hoping this means that there's a change for him. He's finally discovered who he is, and it contradicts what his father wants him to be. May and Zuko's relationship, that's definitely grown on me. May seems a lot more supportive now, and happier. I guess they both look happier, and I guess that must be because of just their development. May's developed a lot, Zuko's developed a lot, and I think that's helped get the relationship into a somewhat healthy position. They're both helping each other, they're supporting each other, that seems good, I'm on board with their relationship now. But it does make me wonder where this is going to go, because if Zuko does turn, like, what would happen? What would happen with May? Because she's, like, with Azula and that whole Ty Lee thing, they're that little group. What happens there if that does happen? It seems very odd and weird, and there's a lot of questions surrounding May at the minute. She feels like she's become far more important recently because of now her tie with Zuko. I don't know, it just raises a lot of questions for me, but I love that she is there for him, and he's able to confess that he doesn't feel like himself in the war room meeting. That's something huge. It feels like he doesn't feel right being in the princely position, and to say that to someone is a big thing, but it's so cool that he trusts May enough to confess and to confide that in her. The dreams, I think, were done absolutely tremendously. Seeing it go from the goofy, weird dreams, that seems in line with sort of a kid's show. It's the weirdness, it's the wackiness. I'm assuming they're anime inspired. I feel like each one was a different anime. I don't know what they are. I think one is called Goku? Dragon Ball, whatever that is. That's the one I know slightly of. And the other two, I have no idea. But I love that they were all inspired by that. I mean, it was so silly, goofy. It was in line with just what you'd imagine a kid's dream would be. Then going on to the full-on nightmare, love how that was depicted. Seeing all the terrifying castles, the flashing images, the way they depicted just horror, seeing Katara being surrounded by flames, Sokka being encased in rock, Aang being frozen, all this stuff. That is nightmarish, and I love how that was depicted. And the hallucinations, that was really interesting how they showed that he was kind of awake during it, and things are happening around him, and yet all these weirdness was still going on. And the Appa and Momo's thing, that's probably my favourite of the weird things. That was just so absurd. And then you had the guru show up. Love that scene and how it just demonstrated what kind of hallucination it was. And there was no rhyme or reason to it. The dreams had reason. They had stuff that was going on with Aang. The rest of it was just his mind, deprived of sleep, going nuts. And I love how there was so much purpose and reality to all the dream sequences that they showed off. Ozai is very interesting in this episode. He wasn't in it technically, since, himself wasn't in it. He had dreams and he had actions. That was it, that he was here. And it's interesting that he saw a picture of Ozai, so he doesn't know who Ozai is, But it's interesting that he didn't actually appear as himself in the dreams. He was a more horrifying version of that. He didn't show up as his actual self until the oversleeping of the invasion. I'm wondering if there is meaning to that. It makes sense that a child would imagine the threat to be more terrifying than it is, but then he also imagined it as he actually is, past the invasion as a victor. So no longer fighting him, but as lost the battle. That's interesting in itself. Then you have then you go on to his actions, rather than Aang's vision of Ozai, his actions are weird. The fact that he wouldn't start the war room meeting until Zuko arrived. Personally, I would have thought Ozai would have been more angry with Zuko. First off, disrespecting the original war room meeting by speaking out of turn and almost embarrassing an officer. That was met with blasting Zuko in the face and banishing him for 3 years. That was that original thing. This one, he doesn't show up to a meeting he's expecting to go to, and Ozai just doesn't start it. He puts Zuko at his right hand, keeps him there, and it's in line with the proudness stuff that's going on. I want so much more on Ozai and just him as a character, because right now I feel like we're getting barely nothing. And my mind is spinning about who he is and what he's like. We know he's the big evil behind all of this, yet he's being incredibly nice towards his son after so long of just awfulness. The behaviour is just so weird and interesting, and I want to know what reason is going on behind it. Yes, he probably thinks that Zuko killed the Avatar. Again, that's just, I don't know if that would immediately mean that he'd be this proud of Zuko. I mean, if anything, if you thought the Avatar was dead, fully gone, Avatar cycle broken, you'd think the world would just collapse because of the whole spirit stuff. But the fact that he's so on board with it, just feels odd that he's this okay with Zuko not taking his principal responsibility seriously. Then you have the gang. I thought it was so sweet that they were the ones that were able to get Aang to go to sleep. It wasn't anything Aang had to do himself. It was the gang that had to basically show that they believe in him. They can make up for Aang's self-disbelief. Yes, I think that sort of sparks a problem for him, that he doesn't have the confidence and belief in himself to do things independently, but it's nice that it basically makes the show not just Avatar: The Last Airbender, it makes them all the Avatar. It's not just focused on Aang, it makes them all, collectively, the Avatar. Aang cannot work independently, yet he is the embodiment of the Avatar, but he needs the rest to be able to do it. It makes all the others feel far more important than just being his travelling companions. It gives them such a big purpose. I just love how they've been able to do it. They've set the world up in this way, where you have this one individual who's so much more powerful than all the others, being able to control all the elements, and be this bridge between all this, cosmic power and energy and all this, and yet now, it is spread between 4 people, and it still works in the world, and it's done so emotionally well that Aang cannot operate unless he has his gang with him and believing in him. But yeah, so the eclipse is the next episode. That's interesting, and that they are now at the rendezvous point. Cove looks cool. That's where they can park the ships and get in undetected, I assume. So that's amazing. But yeah, it's surprising how quickly it's come. So they've gone. I love how they filled all of this up since the start, and yeah, because they started. What was it, episode 1 or 2, where they separated from Hakoda and were on this little journey through the Fire Nation. So now they're actually here. And each episode in between was filled with so much goodness. The character development, the world building, all of it was amazing. Now they are finally at the point of the eclipse. And we're halfway through the season, so that immediately makes me feel bad for what could have happened with the eclipse. It feels like if there's so much left, things will go badly, which I don't want to think about. I'm going to choose to be optimistic. I'm going to say they win, and the last couple episodes are dealing with the aftermath of the war, maybe fixing things. That could be nice. But yeah, I love how they're able to use it, that they got here early and they still filled a whole very good episode in a 4-day time gap between the eclipse. And now it's incredibly close. This ended, I think, him going to sleep and then waking up to the day of the invasion. Love how they've timed that. Yeah, overall, really love this episode. I think it's very strong. I feel like it's a little... personally, I think it's a little weaker than the others, but that's just my feeling on it being a more goofy episode. I think it's still very strong, but I think personally, I have a bias against goofiness. I like it, but it's just, I prefer the more serious stuff. Like the bloodbending thing. Absolutely love that, because it's dark and creepy and weird. This one, far more goofy, far more child-friendly and focused and oriented. But I think still it's such a strong episode in what it did for Aang, and just dealing with him not feeling good enough and not feeling like he can do what he needs to do, and it basically reinforcing the idea that he needs his friends to be able to do it. Then, of course, Zuko on the side, his story finally cementing that he knows who he is and he doesn't align with where he is. So hopefully that means there is a change there, but I love how much they did in this episode and the lens that they used it with. Making it goofy to show that Aang is a 12-year-old, going through all the development like that, and letting a lot of serious themes come up, that they just don't feel good enough, they're not proud, they're not sort of believing in themselves, and it requires others to believe in him to be able to accomplish and feel good and be able to get some sleep. So I cannot wait for the next one, because this one ended with him going to sleep and then, I'm assuming, waking up on the day of the eclipse. That's going to be insane. Full-scale invasion of the Fire Nation. That's going to be awesome to see. Cannot wait to see what happens there, because if there's another 10 episodes, I don't feel good, but I'm going to choose to be optimistic. Last 10, they're going to be dealing with the aftermath. Maybe it will be instating the new Fire Lord. That could be something. Maybe there could be conflict there. But maybe they can defeat Ozai now. It'll be interesting to just see what happens with Ozai in general here. Hopefully they'll get a good amount of development on him, because I still feel like we got nothing on him. We know what he looks like, and his actions are just confusing to me. So I'm hoping at least here we'll get something on him. Maybe we'll even meet the Avatar. That could be cool. And I honestly, the next episode, I feel like that's going to be amazing. So cannot wait. Yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one for Season 3, Episode 10. See ya!